Om Sadashivasamārambhām Shankarācārya Madhyamām Asmadācārya Paryantām Vande Guru Paramparām Nārayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devīm Saraswatīm Vyāsam Tato Jayamudīrare Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vignopashantaye. So we saw that there are two stages in one's life. The first stage is Ishvara Aradhana and the second stage is Ishvara Jnanam. This we have been seeing from the introduction classes to this Vishnu Sahasranama series. And Vishnu Sahasranama is such a beautiful sadhanam that it serves as a sadhanam in both these stages. In both the first stage of Ishvara Aradhanam and also in the second stage Ishvara Jnanam. And now, having come to attend Vishnu Sahasranama class to understand the meaning of Vishnu Sahasranama, now we are here to understand Ishvara. Therefore, this falls under the second stage, which is Ishvara Jnanam. And we also saw that in fact it is not that the second stage Ishvara Jnanam is something different from Ishvara Aradhanam. It is in fact the highest state of Ishvara Aradhanam. And in the previous class, when we began the Sahasranama Vichara, we saw that Omkara, Om Shabda, is an integral part of Vishnu Sahasranama, and Om Shabda is the basic sound and it represents all the words in all languages. Because it is the basic sound, it represents all words. Therefore, when you chant Om, all namas of Bhagavan are included in Om itself. And that is why we also quoted Patanjali Rishi's Yoga Sutra, where he has said, Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha, meaning the best name of the Lord is Om. And because Om denotes all the words, and all words denote the objects in this universe. It can be known objects or it can be unknown objects. So every object is denoted by a word, and all words are included in Omkara. Therefore, Om denotes, in fact, everything in this universe. And everything being Ishvara, Om is the best nama for Ishvara. So we will begin the Vichara of Sahasranama further. Please repeat after me. Only once. Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro.
Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro.
Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu.
Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu.
Bhuta Krit Bhuta Brit Bhavo.
Bhuta Brit Bhavo.
Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha.
Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha.
This first shloka of Sahasranama itself has 9 namas of Bhagavan. We saw totally that the Vishnu Sahasranama contains 1008 namas. The first shloka has the first 9 namas. The first nama is Vishwam. Vishwam is the first nama. It will be a good exercise if somebody starts plotting the nama with the numbers, until we reach 1008. It's a nice exercise. So Vishwam. Vishwam refers to the one who has manifested as this universe. The one that manifests as Vishwam, as universe. Now which one has manifested as universe? It is Ishvara. We saw Jagat Karanam Brahma. He is both the maker and the material cause of this universe. He is both the Nimitta Karana and the Upadana Karana. In short, we call him as Jagat Karanam Brahma. I hope this Shabda Brahma is not misunderstood with the Chaturmukha Brahmadeva. Okay, that is Brahma. Here, Brahma refers to the consciousness principle, the Jagat Karanam, which has manifested or which has lent existence to this universe. Okay, and we also saw that this Shabda, Vishwam, is in neuter gender. So, and in the previous class we saw that in Vishnu Sahasranamam we have Shabdas in all three genders. And where the Shabda is in neuter gender, it indicates Arupa Ishvaraha, who is technically called as Nirgunam Brahma. If Nirgunam Brahma is difficult to remember, you can retain the word Arupa Ishvaraha, which we are used to from the introduction class. Now, how can Vishwam, which is made of various names and forms, right, the universe, represent the one who is formless? And Arupa, meaning when there is no Rupa, then he has no name as well. How can Vishwa represent the formless and the nameless? Now we will see how Shankara is taking us through the meaning. He says, Vivida Pratyaya Gamyam Vishwam. First he begins explaining what is Vishwam. Vishwam, he says, is Vivida Pratyaya Gamyam. Meaning, he says, Vishwam is that which is known through various cognitions. It is cognized in various ways. Vivida Pratyaya Gamyam. How is it cognized? This world is cognized using 5 senses. So when you see a flower, you see it with your eyes, so you get to know its form and color. And then some flowers really have very nice fragrance. You don't have to smell them, but the moment you get into a proximity, you get to sense the smell, right? So this, you have the sense of smell, and you have the Gandha Prapancha, which provides you with all the varieties and fragrances. And then when you look at your book, you again go back to the world of sight. And then you hear me, you have the world of sound. You have the world of touch. Right? So, Vivida Pratyaya Gamyam Vishwam. There are various cognitions which is understood, which is known through various cognitions. And cognizing through a number of ways. It is not that barely with our sense organs that we know things. We also use Upa-Indriyas like microscope and telescope and all those things, right? So, various ways the entire universe is cognized. Therefore, it is called Vishwam. Vivida Pratyaya Gamyam. In fact, that which is known and understood through cognition is called Vishwam. That which is known through 5 senses. Now, there are objects that I perceive which are outside the range of my perception. So, all the objects I perceive, we can categorize into 2. One category is known objects and the other category is unknown objects. Unknown meaning knowable. Maybe today I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I may get to know. Or maybe it is not knowable or it is unknown only for me. But with respect to a scientist who is doing research on that particular field, it is known to him. And maybe certain parts are unknown to the human race but are cognized by animals. Okay, there are various ranges. Okay, so all known and I will replace this word unknown as knowable. Okay, all known and knowable objects together is Vishwam. The entire world is Vishwam. Now when I say the entire world, does it include your body? It should include my body. Does it include your mind? It has to include my mind. Therefore, including my body, my mind, my intellect, my memory, everything, it is the world that I experience. Therefore, Vishwam means Sarvam, everything known and knowable. Now we get to the next stage. Why is Brahma, Jagatkaranam Brahma or Arupa Ishvara called as Vishwam? Now there are two stages in this understanding. Shankara takes us through stage 1 and stage 2. Now stage 1, he says, Vishwasya Jagataha Karanatvena hi Vishwam iti uchyate. Now I am quoting Shankara for the interest of those people who would be comfortable listening to it. If you are not familiar with Sanskritam, you can just follow the meaning that I am going to explain. So I'm just quoting it just for some academic interest, that's all. So he says, Vishwasya Jagataha Karanatvena hi Vishwam iti uchyate. No, Bhagavan is the cause of this universe and therefore he is called Vishwam. He says, Vishwasya Jagataha Karanatvena. Because he is the Karanam of this Jagat, Vishwam iti uchyate. He is called Vishwam. Now tell me something. When a cause is there and a product is there, why will you name the cause with the product itself? Cause and effect. Let's go here. Okay, this one is nice to show. So this is a pot. Now pot is the nama of the product. When I say pot, it includes the clay as well. Correct? It includes the clay. So when I say shirt, it includes the fabric. When we say sari, it includes the fabric. And when I say jewelry, it includes the gold. Okay, so every karya indicates the karana. When we say pot, it indicates the clay. Okay, therefore, karya prapancha, every nama of the karya prapancha, every nama of the world of products indicates the cause alone. So therefore when I say Vishwam, it indicates the Lord who is the maker and the material cause. So when I say Vishwam, it refers to the Lord. And every nama, every word, every name that we use which refers to any product in this universe is in fact referring to the Lord. Right? Who is the Jagat Karanam. And we have an indicative list of 1,000 names only here. In fact, you can extend it to everything that you see and experience. It is none other than Jagat Karanam Brahma Arupa Ishvara himself. So Vishwam is Sarvam, and therefore all names are his name, and every glory that you experience is nothing but his glory. This one understanding is just enough to reveal you of a lot of mental pain. Every nama, every rupa you experience is his nama and rupa, and every glory that you experience is his glory, because only that which is arupa can become various rupas. Something which already has a rupa cannot become the other. A square cannot become circle. Only that which is arupa, formless, a lump of clay that is formless, can be shaped like this, can be shaped like this, or can be shaped like this. Right? Only that which is formless can be given different shapes and can assume different names. Alright? This is the first stage. So what is the first stage? Every nama indicates, every nama of the product indicates the cause. Therefore, the cause is referred, is indicated by the nama. Therefore, the nama of the product becomes the nama of the cause itself, because it is indicated by it. Now stage 2. I am quoting Shankara again. Yadva parasmat purushat idam vishwam paramartataha na pinnam. What he says is, this world is not separate from Bhagavan, because it has no reality apart from Bhagavan. Now we go with the example. This pot is not separate from clay, because this pot does not have an existence of its own without the clay. It has no reality without the clay. How do we say that? Suppose you have a suction pump that can just absorb the clay alone. What remains? Does the pot remain? Because there are no two entities here. Though we say this is a pot and there is clay, though we mention two words here, we say clay and pot, how many substances are there? Only one substance is there. And which is that substance? Is that substance clay or is that substance pot? Clay is the substance. Therefore, that is only substantial and pot is not substantial. Pot is therefore dependent. The existence of pot is dependent on the clay, while the existence of clay is not dependent on the pot. Therefore, pot does not have a reality other than clay, separate from clay, and pot cannot be separated from clay. You can't show two things here. It is only one. Just the same way Shankara is telling, this world being not separate, because it is a product and its cause is Ishvara, this world is not separate from Ishvara, and being a product, it has got an existence which is dependent on Ishvara, a reality which is not of its own. There is no reality for this world apart from Ishvara. Therefore, what exists? What exists here? Two things? Only one thing. What exists is only clay. Just the same way, you may see different namas and rupas in this world, but what exists is only one, that is Ishvara. And here in Shankara makes it very interesting to show that what is here is nothing but Brahman, Arupa Ishvara, by quoting various parts of Vedas, Upanishads and Shastras. So he makes it very interesting, and especially if you are somebody who has gone through the Upanishads, he makes it very interesting by quoting Mundaka Upanishad, where it says Brahmaivedam Vishwamidam Varishtam, Adascha Urdhvan Chakrasitam, Brahmaivedam Vishwamidam Varishtam. Everything is Jagat Karanam Brahma. All right. So stage 1 is, what did he say? Vishwam refers to Jagat Karanam Brahma, to Ishvara, because the name of the product indicates the cause. This is stage 1. And stage 2, he says, because the product does not have a reality apart from the cause itself, therefore the word Vishwam refers to the cause of this universe, which is Ishvara. Okay? So, now the next analysis. Now, why should Vishwam be called as Vishwam? Why do you call this universe as Vishwam? Alright, Vishwam is the name of this universe, and we saw how it refers to the cause. Now, why should it be called as Vishwam itself? It's because Vishati iti Vishwam. You know, there is a section. There are sections in several Upanishads which talk about the evolution of this universe. Okay, we call it Srishti Prakaranam. And different Upanishads will present it in different ways. And you have Taittiriya Upanishad. Those of you who have learnt Taittiriya Parayanam may be able to recall some shabdas that I may be chanting. You know, how it presents is, when it talks about Srishti Prakaranam, it says, you know, when God made this universe, it makes it a little, poetic. Okay, something like a tale, a fairy tale. Okay, so that's how it presents. So it says, when God made this universe, first what he did, he created all the bodies. Okay, and all these bodies were non-living, just the body, just like how the potter creates various shapes with the clay. Like that, he created various bodies with all the Panchabhutas. That is the raw material he had, right? So he made different types of bodies, and now they were all non-living, right? They were all inert. So what he did, he was the only Chetana Vastu. So what he did, he entered the bodies. He created the bodies and he entered the bodies. Because he entered, you know, when you buy a new house, what do? You enter the new house, and that ritual is called what? Pravesha, Griha Pravesha. No? Like that, it is called Vishwam because Vishati iti Vishwam, because Bhagavan entered. Tat srishtva tadevanupravishat. So he made them and then he entered into them. Because Bhagavan entered into the bodies, this Vishwam is called Vishwam. This is the first meaning. Okay. The second meaning, he says, Vishanti sarvani bhutani asmin. So beautiful. Says at Pralaya Kala, now we spoke of the Srishti Kala, you know, when the evolution happened. Now, at the time of resolution, what happens? At the time of resolution, at the time of Pralaya, all these bodies enter into Bhagavan. Okay? So, all beings resolve into Bhagavan. Vishanti sarvani bhutani asmin. In unto whom or into whom all these beings resolve. So, whether Bhagavan enters the bodies or the body and bodies enter Bhagavan, it is called Vishwam. Okay? So, these two meanings have been given. And Shankara quotes again a number of Shrutis, Smritis to show that Vishwam is Om. And Om is the name of Bhagavan, who is Vishwam. Therefore, Om is Vishwam, Om is Bhagavan, therefore Vishwam is Bhagavan. Now, Vishwam indicates that Bhagavan is in all things and beings. And one should do stuti, namaskara to Bhagavan without causing any himsa. You know, when you are, if you consider yourself to be a devotee of Bhagavan, you should never hurt anything in this universe. And the devotee of Bhagavan will have the highest regard to even a non-living thing in this world, because that is also the form and nama of Bhagavan. You see a paper down. That is why we have this culture of, if you stamp on a paper, you immediately say this is Saraswati. Right? If you stamp on a currency note, immediately you say no, this is Lakshmi. So every aspect of this creation we associate with Bhagavan, because he is himself the creation. I might have known it all these years, or I might have not known it all these years also. But the fact remains that he is Vishwam. Therefore, we do this. And how do we greet each other? We say Namaste. Right? Namaste means Namaha Astute. That is our tradition. Our tradition is not hi. Okay? We don't say hi. Alright, you may use it because you know, when you meet different sections or society of people, you may have to greet accordingly. That's fine. But our tradition is very, very superior and cultured for the fact that we recognize divinity in everything. We recognize that it is Ishvara who is in the form of everything. And therefore, it is said that don't harm anything, because everything is Ishvara. I don't think a bhakta will dare to harm his own Aradhya Devata. So, never harm anything, and that is why Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha. And even in the Mahabharatam, there is such a beautiful shloka, I just cannot stop quoting this. I will also tell you the meaning. It goes like this. Nirvishnu kirtayet Vishnum, na Vishnur Vishnu marchaget, na Vishnu samsmaret Vishnum, na Vishnur Vishnu mapnuyat. Such a beautiful shloka. It says, Avishnuhu, that is one who does not look upon himself as Vishnu. Okay, where one does not look upon himself as Vishnu, meaning he limits Vishnu. Okay, and he considers himself to be separate or different from Vishnu. He, such a person, Avishnuhu, should not do Kirtanam of Vishnu, should not sing praises of Vishnu. He is not eligible to sing praises of Vishnu. He is not eligible to do Archanam of Vishnu. In fact, he is not eligible to do even Smaranam of Vishnu. And such a person will never attain Vishnu. That is what this shloka says. And because he is everything, and everything is included in him, and everything includes my body, mind, intellect and everything. Therefore, I should not consider myself to be different from Vishnu. And seeing oneself as Vishnu, one should then do the worship. Who is that Vishnu? Who is the one we are talking about now? That is the second nama. Vishnu. Vishnu means the one who pervades, the one who inheres, the one who penetrates everything. Veveshti vyapnoti iti Vishnu. He inheres, he permeates, and he pervades everything, just like how the thread pervades a piece of cloth. And he is, because he pervades, he is all pervading, and he inheres every part of this created world, where time and space are also part of the creation only. He inheres time, he inheres the space as well. Therefore, one who is the cause of time and space has to be free from the limitations of time and space. One who is the cause of time and space has to be free from the limitations of time and space. Desha kala vastu paricheda shunyaha. That is the technical word which Shastra tells to mean that free from the limitations or not bound by the limitations of time and space. We can all, those of you who know Narayana Suktam can remember as we chant Narayana Suktam. Antarbahishcha tat sarvam vyapya narayana stitaha. So antarbahihi, the one who is within and one who is outside. Tat sarvam, just everything, is pervaded by him, Vishnu. And we have this beautiful word, kadavul in Tamil, which means kadandum irpar, ullum irpar, meaning he pervades the outside world and he also pervades inside. So that is the second nama, Vishnu. Now the third nama, Vashatkara. Vashatkara, Vashat, is a technical word which is used in fire rituals. Vashat is the Shabda and Kara is the Pratyaya, the suffix that is added to make the word Vashatkara. So in a fire ritual, if you have seen any homa happening, you can recall the experience where an ahuti, an oblation is offered into the sacred fire. And it is offered to a particular devata. And it is offered with a mantra. And the ritual is also done for a particular purpose. So you have the offering into the Agni, and a mantra is chanted, and the offering is made to a particular devata, and the entire ritual is done for a particular purpose. And while the offering is made into the fire, you might have heard this Shabda Swaha or Vashat. These Shabdas are chanted, and which is followed by Idanna Mama, and it is offered into the fire. Suppose the offering is given to Indra Devata. It is chanted Indraya Swaha, Indraya Idanna Mama. So this is given to Indra, and this is no more mine. Idanna Mama. It is no more mine, it belongs to Indra. Now Shankara takes the meaning of Vashatkara in 4 stages. Okay? The first stage is Yad Uddeshena Advare Vashat Kriyate Sa Vashatkaraha. Simple. What he says is Vashatkara Shabda, the Nama, refers to the Devata to whom the oblation is offered by chanting Vashat. We saw that Vashat is chanted or Swaha is chanted while doing the offering. So it refers to, Vashatkaraha refers to the one unto whom the oblation is given. Okay, the Devata. The Devata can be Agni, the Devata can be Indra, the Devata can be Soma, Brihaspati, Varuna, anyone. So it refers to, Vashatkara refers to the Devata. Now how can a Nama that represents some Devata in a fire ritual be the Nama of Ishvara who is all pervading? Now when somebody wants to call you, they come and touch you. Now you are sitting and they come and touch your little finger. So what happens? Your entire body turns and your focus turns towards that person, right? So just by touching the little finger, it is not that only the little finger of your body turns towards them. The entire body, you turn towards that person. Just the same way, entire Vishwam being Bhagavan and every Devata being different parts of this universe, where an offering is done to any Devata and attention is given to any one Devata, Bhagavan's attention entirely turns towards you. And we saw that he is in the form of the entire universe. Bhoof Pado Yasya Nabihi Vyad Asuhu Anilaha Chandra Suryoscha Netre Karnau Asha Shirodyor Mukamapi Dahanor Yasya Vasteyam Abdihi Antastam Yasya Vishwam Sura Nara Kakago Bogina Gandharva Daityaihi Chidram Ram Ramyatetam. I was just waiting for that word. Tribhuvana Vapusham. Vapus means body, and his body is Tribhuvanam. Tribhuvana Vapusham. Therefore, one who his body is the entire universe, and therefore when you touch upon any part of this universe, the attention of Ishvara turns towards you. Alright. Now, though the offering is, the oblation is given as an offering to Agni Devata, it is given for some Devata through Agni Devata, right? So he is the courier service. He will go and give it to the respective Devata. You want to give it to Indra, you give it to Agni, he will go and give it. He is the Danzo, okay, the celestial Danzo. Though it is offered to any Devata, it is still finally offered to Ishvara only. There is a famous shloka in our dharma which says, Akashat patitam toyam yata gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam pratigacchati. So all namaskaras to every devata. What do all the devatas do? They carry all our namaskaras and they go and do one final namaskara to Ishvara to hand over all our namaskaras to him. Okay? If this is the rule for all the devatas, what about we human beings who receive namaskaras from others? Right? We also have to offer all the namaskaras that we receive to Ishvara. Because namaskara is always done to Ishvara. Now there is, there are parts of society who believe that, we don't do namaskara for human beings. When namaskara can be done to a stone or an image in which Ishvara is invoked, why cannot one invoke Ishvara in a human being and then do namaskara to him? Alright, so the stage 1 is Vashatkara refers to the deity, the devata who receives the oblation in the fire ritual. Stage 2, Shankara says, Yasmin Yagnye Vashatkriya. He says the very Yajna in which the offering is done with the mantra Vashat is also Vishnu. First he said, to whom the offering is done is Vishnu. Now he says, the very Yajna itself is Vishnu. In an Yajna, there are devatas and the Yajna itself is a means, right? Is a means, and when I say means, it means it is a karma, right? It's a karma to attain a particular end. We saw that every yajna has a purpose. Say one desires to go to Swarga and therefore he does a fire ritual. So what is the end that he desires? He desires Swarga. The sadhyam is Swarga and the sadhana, the means, is the ritual, is the fire ritual. Now there is a connection between the karma, the means, and the karma phala, which is the end. The end is Swarga. While I do the ritual here, I do the offering here, what do I desire? I desire an end which is not right now, but which is later, the karma phala which is later. Now for a gross mind, it feels as though there is no connection between the action that is done here and the result that is achieved, to be achieved, right? It looks like there is no connection between karma and karma phala. How can offering something into the fire by chanting some mantras take you to a desired result? Now, between karma and karma phala, there is a connection. Something governs the connection between karma and karma phala. And the connection, that which governs the connection is called Ishvara. That is why he is called Karma Phaladata. it seems no connection between karma and karma phala because one misses to understand the invisible in between. The invisible in between is the punya, which we call as adrishta. So karma generates punya, and the punya cannot be enjoyed. The punya that you accrue, the punya that is getting accumulated, cannot be enjoyed as such. It has to get fructified into the result, into something favorable that is available for your five senses to enjoy. Something like, maybe the older generation would understand, something like the traveler's check. Okay, the traveler's check is some amount in say dollars when you are going to US, but it is not available for your experience right now. But once you go to the desired destination, you can encash it and then you can enjoy it. Or for the younger generation, it is something like you go to a mall and you play a game and you win some tickets, right? You win these many 100 tickets and then you use the tickets to buy whatever you want. It is like that. You do karma, you get some punya, like the points that get accrued on your credit card, and then you use those points for enjoying the desired result. Okay, so here the order by which the karma is capable of producing the result is itself Ishvara, because without Ishvara, karma is not capable of giving the phalam. Therefore, the Devata is Vishnu, the Yajna is Vishnu, the means is Vishnu, and then the karma phala is also Vishnu. And the connection between the karma and karma phala is the punya is also Vishnu. The order that governs that this karma will produce this result is also brought about by Vishnu only, is also Vishnu only. And I will just take a few more minutes to finish this. The third and the fourth stages are, the third stage is Devatava. He says, it may also denote, Shankara says, it may also denote Vashatkara Shabda, may also denote a Devata who is in the name of Vashatkara, who is also Vishnu. And the fourth stage, he says, Yena Vashatkaradi Mantratmana Devan Prinayati. In the Yajna, he has told that the Devata is Vishnu, the Yajna is Vishnu, the end is Vishnu, the connection between the means and end is Vishnu, and the order that brings about this connection between the means and end is also Vishnu. He probably would have thought that there is one more thing to be added, which he did not mention, it is Vishnu. And he says, all the mantras through which the Devatas are worshipped, the Vashat, Swaha, by the utterance of which the Devatas are pleased. The very mantra is Vishnu and the very utterance is Vishnu. So he takes one example of Yajna, he just takes every aspect of it and he has explained how everything is Vishnu. If we take the Yajna where everything is Vishnu, a karma where everything is Vishnu, just as much as that, every karma that we do from morning to evening and every aspects of it. Karma means it has to have a karaka. Karaka is the yajamana, who is the owner of the karma, and for what all the interrogations you post, why, what, when, where, how, all the answers that you give for a particular, why are you cooking, for whom are you cooking, using what are you cooking, what are the ingredients for you use for the cooking, just anything. If you take cooking as the karma as an example, just everything is Vishnu. And you go to office, you boot your system and you start every mail you have, for whom are you writing, for whom are you doing, what are you doing, just start posting everything, every question. The answer for you have an answer for every question, and the understanding is because it is Bhagavan who has manifested as this universe. And nothing in this universe is separate from him. It is he who is in the form of just everything that is given in front of you. This is the understanding, and we will proceed. We have seen 3 namas today. We will proceed with the other namas in the next class. Om पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Just to remind you that we would not have class in the upcoming week because we are going for a camp, and the next class will be on the 6th of January here in India, 6th January morning, Monday here in India, and in US it would be the 5th January evening.